The new FLC hero has been now fully launched by Warhammer Skulls, and it is Harry the Hammer. In this video today, we're going to watch the release trailer of good old Harald. Then I'm going to go through the lore of Harry. Now, Harry is a figure that was really distantly mentioned in the first edition of Warhammer Fantasy, and as a 25th year anniversary in 2008, they did a little kind of set of rules and a full-out launch for him. He had art from the older lore. So we'll kind of go through those new rules, those art from the 300, I think it's like White Dwarf 340, something like that. So we'll show all that off here today. But let's start off here with this badass trailer. I have not watched it yet, so we're going to watch it together as a friend group. And then we will have some fun going through the lore. So let's go ahead and dive on into this trailer for Harry the Hammer in Total War Warhammer 3. Go ahead and just press play. I got the sound kind of up this time around because I don't really know what we're going to see or what I'm going to see. I'll probably have some dumb commentary, not unlike the Total War Pharaoh trailer, which sucked.
There is legend of a warrior unparalleled.
You know, it's really scary when someone's name is Harald. God damn, it's just exactly like the model in the art. I love it.
In the heart of fear, who reached into the grave and found only hate.
Oh. So he is a renowned Kurgan, so we're probably going to see him in Norsca and Warriors of Chaos. I had this ahead of time, so I'm actually not sure 100% what factions he's in, because I don't have the patch ahead of time, unfortunately. I've seen Lord of the Rings. But the Lord of the Rings did not have a metal accompaniment. Oh my god, just destroy the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, turn him into mist.
Such hate is to become a nightmare. It is to wield dread as lesser men wield armies.
God, that's so sick.
It is to become fear itself. It is to become the Hammerstorm.
Oh. Lovely snow leopard pelt. Beyond excited to try this bad boy. I now remember he's an FLC hero, so he'll probably be able to be used in Khorne armies and Warriors of Chaos and Norsca. I unfortunately do not know, because of the making of this video, they did not tell us 100%, but he's free. Go download him. I think you probably need CA Total War access or whatever it is, unfortunately, but that's how you're going to get access to this big, frothy badass. Let's dive on into his lore now. So here is Harry the Hammer, Harald Hammerstorm. And this is a pretty nice little ditty. They did this. So it's kind of cool that this is the 40th anniversary, right? So they did this in conjunction with the 25th anniversary. So nice to kind of see him brought back in the lore in some way or shape or form. There's actually already a battle scroll for him if you want to use him in Age of Sigmar. I mean, that's existed. So it's nice to see that we get that. So here is the lore here for him. So in the tales of the Norse and the Kurgan, there's a legend that concerns one of the greatest feats of man ever seen in the Northlands. It tells of the great warrior, Harald Hammerstorm, known fondly to his followers as Harry the Hammer. Harald was famed for killing the demon Mathrog Brainmangler during the Battle of Korsvold, having smashed the demon prince's head from his body with a single blow of his hammer. On a cold midwinter day, as he led his warband across the Chaos Wastes, Harry came across the outcrop of an old ruin jutting from beneath the snows. Upon investigation, he located an ancient gateway leading into a dark tunnel. Thinking that there might be treasure within, Harald and his warriors descended into the crumbling vaults. This is very familiar, right? Their intrusion awoke something long dead in the darkness beneath the snow. Ancient warriors sworn to protect the secrets of the Tomb City were roused from their eternal slumber. With rusted blades, bony fingers, and eyes aglow with witch fires, they fell upon the Northmen. Stumbling out of the depths, Harald and his men were horrified to see the skeletons pursuing them still. The tumble-down ruins now glowed with power, and the melting snow revealed forbidding stones burning with magical energy. The Chaos Warband found themselves in the middle of a great settlement from the dawn of time. Knowing that he had to fight his way free, Harald turned and faced the advancing legion. The favor of the gods fueled Harry as he fought. His hammer rose and fell with monotonous destruction, smashing skulls and rib cages to powder. Harald's followers pressed in behind their leader, and Harry formed the point of a wedge, driving through the skeletal warriors. After a day and a night fighting, and as dawn rose the next day, the undead were all but destroyed, piles of bones, a story high left in the wake of the Chaos Warriors. Since that day, Harald has held a special loathing for the undead. So efficient and determined is Harry at slaying the undead that even their mindless spirits regard him with horror. He is an elemental force who hurls back the undead with his steely will. The dead do not rest easy in the chaos wastes, and Harald has no shortage of foes upon which to vent his anger. So you can see he is clearly an anti-chaos, or no, anti-undead chaos hero. And this guy was, of course, made by Gav Thorpe, good old Gabby Poo. I would say Harry the Hammer is worth 365 points. However, Harry is a legendary figure from the history of Warhammer, intended for use in scenarios. So they pretty much would do these things every so often. They'd bring a famous hero or lord back, and they'd prop him up on some sort of cool little new lore or whatever instance was kind of unfolding, that they would kind of pop back up. That's how we got 6th edition allied contingents rules for the Kislev army, to bring them back into the lore. So we have that kind of stuff here. So weapons and equipment. Harry is armed with the Hammer of Harry, see below, wears the Armor of Damnation, and carries the Bane Shield. The Bane Shield was actually just a 6th edition shield. So you can see it says, see Warhammer armies, Hordes of Chaos. So it's just a shield. I think it negated spells or something of the crap. The Hammer of Harry. Harry's hammer is blessed by the gods to banish the souls of those he strikes, and is powerful enough to send back the raised spirits of the undead. The Hammer of Harry inflicts D6 wounds and allows no armor saves. In addition, against undead, demon, or forest spirit models, Harry can reroll any failed rolls to wound. So he probably has some sort of rolls to wound. Wounding is kind of more in conjunction with either weapon damage or armor piercing, probably one or the other. So probably has some sort of percentage damage bonus against the aforementioned unit types, or probably some sort of increased melee attack as part of something, or maybe reduces melee defense, something of the sort. Unbreakable, he hates undead, he has killing blow, only against undead models. I would assume he also has some sort of cool hero skills, and I'm making this, of course, the day before. I have no insight into how his actual model looks or anything like that, aside from the stuff that we've seen so far. So I'm just kind of having some fun here talking about the lore. So Bane of the Undead. So strong as the aura of chaos that surrounds Harry, even the dead dread to face him. Somewhere in the vestigial remains of their souls, a spark of awareness flickers to life upon seeing Harry, a memory of their deaths. Harry causes terror in the undead, and any unit he leads causes fear in undead. Even though the undead are normally immune to psychology, this means that they need to pass a leadership test, blah, blah, blah. If outnumbered, they will break and flee from combat, so on and so forth. Fleeing undead units rally automatically. Ooh. That's wild. So in tabletop, undead units don't flee, they crumble. So if you fail a leadership test, the difference in which you, depending on the edition, but the difference in which you fail the test would be crumbling damage you take. So rather than you having your unit run, they would just lose models. If they are not forced to flee from combat, defeated undead units will take. That's kind of cool. So they actually physically run in this case, which is a nifty little thing. So I could see him as having some sort of ability to negate the natural immune to psychology or immune to fear and or terror of respective models that have fear or terror, as a way to kind of break those rules. That's kind of a cool thing. If it's not just like an undead specific thing, right? If it just says like, hey, if something has fear or terror, it still causes fear or terror in them, and either he causes terror and in a 35-meter radius he causes fear. I could see that. That could be pretty cool. Or maybe he has a 35-meter radius, it gives fear to units and they can break the rule for that. But I like that a lot. That's pretty sick. But here you go. Here he is. That's all really the lore for him. I just kind of wanted to, rather than just quickly showing the trailer and say zippity-doo-dah, bye-bye, I wanted to at least just kind of talk about the lore. All the other model sculptors and painters in the team back then painted different versions of him. But the winner is pretty much what we get in the game. Like, that's spot on Harry the Hammer here. He was a special edition model that was released. We even get the same like snow leopard cloak that we get here. So a really, really, really cool little bit of lore. And I love to kind of see this basically what is like the canon version of him brought to life into the game. So I think it'll be a really fun FLC character to bring into your armies. It seems like he'll just be Warriors of Chaos, Norsca, and possibly Khorne, even though he doesn't have a true Khorne allegiance. I'm just throwing that out there because he's like very Khornate looking, but again, he doesn't have a set Khornate allegiance. That's his old look. Back then, man, they didn't care about smoothing out the edges of PNGs for your magazines in 2008. You got what you got, and you liked it. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight on who the hell Harry the Hammer is, and have fun with him in your game. Enjoy 3.1. And make sure you do check out my Twitch, where we are streaming the Skulls event and all the fun kind of things that are unfolding with it. But as always, have a good one and take care.